think that they can take this.
Okay, well, I'm just going to deny all of you. I'm going to say the Rejects take this because every time I go against all three of you, I win. So I'm going to take those odds again here. I think the Rejects have got it for North America. We are going to see that Outlaw Rogue specialization, and the Rejects will be leading with their Fire Mage Assassination Rogue, which means Swapsy is going to have a lot of pressure thrown his way. Adrian, how do you think Swapsy's going to deal with it?
I mean, it's standard stuff from both the teams. I am a little bit scared for this Elemental Shaman. Definitely an all-in aggro Rejects. You can see the Avenging Crusader from Rubcup is specialized. Definitely could run over Swapsy, and that's what they're trying to do. They get the Trinket, they get the Astral Shift. It's up to Waz to get the peels. He's got the stuns, he's got the momentum. Uses the blind onto Rubcup, who does not have his Trinkets. They might even get the Ice Block immediately here. Jamili trying to kite away, cauterizes. Should be able to hold on to that. Maybe Hand of Sacrifice, yes. Traded out by Rubcup, so they will hold on to that Ice Block.
Ooh, a cheeky Hex under Rubcup as Roasty gets stunned away. That cauterize is a vital cooldown. So is the Blessing of Sacrifice from Rubcup. So Skill Cap Black definitely have a lead here. They're looking for another attempt onto Swapsy's life, but Swapsy's in a great position behind the pillar. Jamili got peeled away by Waz as well, so Swapsy stays alive throughout that stun. Now he's going to have free movement to kite if he needs it. Looks like they don't even need to, as Chaz is no longer crowd controlled. Rapture Powered Shield should be enough for this attempt, and now we see Skill Cap Black trying to get aggressive. They stun up Rubcup into the double fear. Perfect play from Chaz, forcing a double Trinket from the Rejects and putting Skill Cap Black even further ahead.
That was such a clean play coming out of them. I mean, Waz and Swapsy have just been playing as if they've been playing their entire lives. It's unbelievable. This is their first series. They're denying Jamili when they need to. They're getting the aggression, the fear coming out. Only Divine Shield really available for the Rejects. Now they're trying to get aggressive over onto Swapsy, though. There's the full Hammer of Justice. Can they stop Jamili? He gets the Ring of Frost. Swapsy kiting away. Chaz actually has to Trinket before the blind. That's definitely an opening for Rejects, who now will have that opportunity to secure the game.
Yeah, Swapsy's in a lot of trouble. He needs to stay alive for at least another 10 seconds for that Astral Shift defensive cooldown. In the meantime, he sneaks a Hex. Rubcup is forced to Divine Shield. Jamili.
Oh, the MD!
Instant Master Chaz MVP!
This tournament apparently, because Skill Cap Black on an absolute tear. They're going to lead by one. Will the Rejects be able to tie it up here on Ruins?
I mean, you can see what the Rejects are thinking, right? They're playing Avenging Crusader. They're locking in maps like Ruins of Lordron. They just want to all in on Swapsy, and I think it's a fair win condition. The Elemental Shaman definitely vulnerable. We saw in the opener last game, they were able to get the Pain Suppression and the Astral Shift. If they'd managed to clean it up one more time, maybe if they'd been able to survive that Master Spell, they could have got the blind, they could have got the victory. So the Rejects definitely not out of this one. We can see Avenging Crusader once again as they get aggressive over onto Swapsy.
Waz is just shutting Jamili down with stun and gouge after kick. Jamili can't get a sheep out onto Chaz. Now Chaz is behind the pillar. Roasties is forced to blind. Chaz immediately trinkets out of that. In the meantime, Skill Cap Black are now looking to reverse the pressure with Rubcup locked down in a stun. Jamili dipping down to half HP. Will he be able to escape the clutches of Waz? Waz is all over him right now. Roasty peels him away. Nice peels from Roasties. Jamili staying alive even though Rubcup sat through that full Psychic Scream. Now Rubcup is charging in. Let's see if he can get some damage done.
Yeah, he's trying to get the Hammer of Justice, able to do so. Swapsy dropping low, has to Trinket, trade out the Astral Shift. That was the Vendetta, of course, but Combustion's held onto so far. Can they deny Jamili? A good stun comes out from Waz. Will stop the Polymorph for now. Chaz able to line of sight the follow-up. Well played by him. There's the Rapture, trying to get some heals out. Still Polymorphs being casted from Jamili. He's causing such a nuisance in the Skill Cap Black house, but Swapsy survives.
In the meantime, we see a swap to Rubcup, trying to catch him off guard with no Trinket. This could be the Divine Shield. Rubcup has to get through the interrupts of Waz. Will he be able to fake cast some? Jamili soaks the kick. Rubcup restabilized. Avenging Crusader is up. Rubcup needs to get some damage done, but you see Swapsy already across the map. Jamili blinking away right before that stun. Critical timing. Rubcup sitting through the blind, and they're going to trade out the block. Chaz looking for the Master Spell. Lands the Master Spell, but now Chaz is caught into a Hammer of Justice. Rubcup connecting the heals. Swapsy still just having a field day kiting around the map. It seems like Roasty just can't connect.
Do you know how many polymorphs Jamili has got on Chaz so far this game? In fact, this series, I'm pretty sure the answer is 0. Do you know why? Because Skill Cap Black are all over that Mage. They're making it so difficult. Swapsy playing that dampening style that he loves. Waz doing both, doing the wondrous task of keeping Jamili locked down whilst also killing him. So Skill Cap Black are just playing around this matchup perfectly. It's so difficult to do against the Fire Mage. We see yet again another stun. There's the fear onto Rubcup. They're actually getting some damage over onto him here. Divine Shield. He's going to have to top himself off and keep Jamili alive. Hand of Sacrifice, he has the tools to do it, but look at the cooldowns on Skill Cap Black. Trinkets back on Chaz. Astral Shift back up in 5. They're really taking control of the series.
This is basically Swapsy's playground. He's just toying with the Rejects right now, kiting across the map, making Swaps doing tons of damage. Jamili, cheeky mind control, not able to get anything out. Finally some damage, but a barrier from Chaz should protect Swapsy from this incoming pressure. Jamili getting stunned on the poly. Waz completely shutting Jamili out of the game. Chaz tricketing out of the blind, trying to keep his team aggressive as Jamili's caught into a stun. Tons of pressure. Rubcup trying to get some heals out with the Avenging Crusader, but he can't connect onto Swapsy. He's getting the Holy Lights, tons of damage. Jamili still down on half. Waz is trying to finish him off here. The next tricks of the trade could be the end of the game, potentially. Rubcup also down to half mana if we're just looking for the long game potential of this. Rubcup caught into the stun. Jamili's still getting mind controlled away as they swap to Rubcup. They're looking to force the Divine Shield with this swap. They gouge him low HP. They make a swap away. Jamili gets out of that, unfortunately. Now, finally, a Polymorph secured. Will Swapsy be able to escape? He just immediately on the other side of the tomb. Great presence of mind from Swapsy as Chaz after that Polymorph.
That was a neat little play by Jamili to land that Polymorph, and Swapsy was immediately aware of it, kited around the pillar. Now they're going to get the full fear. Ooh, slight little gap means that Rubcup does get the Hammer of Justice first. Now he Blessing of Protection. They're trying to get offensive. Here's the deal. Polymorph, this could be the game. Swapsy falls! And a sudden turn on the head. One little mistake from Skillcap Black gives Rejects the opening, and they do tie up the series.
Is their depth and their four top teams are a little bit closer clumped up. I think NA's top teams are on that same skill level as the EU teams, but some of the lower seeded teams may not be there. But hey, forget about NA versus EU. The only thing that matters right now is Skillcap Black versus the Rejects. We got it right this time. 1-1. Who is going to take the lead?
I mean, that's kind of the reason we're here, right? To have those extra clashes, to have Europe, to have North America, to have Skillcap Black, to have Rejects, all these teams from around the world competing on the same stage. In Columbus, Ohio, we see Jamili getting the early Polymorph on Chaz. That's been one of the win conditions we talked about. If they can land those Polymorphs over onto the healer, Swapsy kiting away, melee wings, Rubcup trying to solo him, shouldn't be able to do that. Astral Shift was traded out though, so pretty reasonable opener for the Rejects.
Swapsy's using the map quite effectively. You can use Gust of Wind to jump up from the bottom there up to the top, and now Jamili getting counter pressured with a double fear from Chaz. MVP Chaz, tons of damage. Sacrifice from Rubcup is going to redirect the damage. Waz looks like he might want to swap to Rubcup. He's got him locked down in the stun, plus the sacrifice redirected damage. Swapsy in the meantime is focusing on defense. You can see him so far away. Nice, he just line of sighted downstairs right on the stun. A gouge onto Jamili, and Swapsy with the perfect positioning buys Chaz a bit more time, but will that time be enough? We see a defensive blind onto Roasties. They desperately trying to hold onto Chaz's trinket so they can break out of crowd control later. Now sapping him out of the blinds. Jamili caught into a stun, but with no crowd control on Rubcup, he should be all right. Swapsy's trying to sneak in a Hex. He's able to get that full Hex, and now Jamili could be in trouble. He's already immediately polymorphing Waz. Nice Thunderstorm from Swapsy. Jumps down again, and positioning from Swapsy is great on this map. If he can jump back up again, he jumps up. Will Roasties reconnect? Yes, he has Shadow Step. He's going to stay on target.
Yeah, I really like the defensive and offensive play coming out of Skillcap Black there. They used the blind a little bit unconventionally, but they were able to get all three PvP trinkets or crowd control breakers on the side of Rejects. That's very good for them. Of course, offensively, the Hand of Sacrifice is also down, so now they're looking to force the Ice Block with their next offensive push. We see Blind over onto Chaz. He was able to hold that trinket because of the defensive play earlier. Looks like he's actually going to hold it through this as well, as Swapsy is doing a field trip around Dalaran Suez to survive.
Yeah, he's basically a little ghost wolf NASCAR just running around on the outside, and nobody can really catch up to him. Waz getting swapped to, though, with a full poly. That swap is deadly! The Rejects strike back, catching Waz off guard, now leading the series 2-1.
My goodness, the Rejects are just finding these tiny little cracks, these tiny little openings, and they are able to punish. They are able to find these win conditions, and now they find themselves on match point. And really, that does fall into Rubcup's court. That's why I said he's one of my most improved players of the year. Now he's multi-classing a whole bunch as well, and he's looking strong here. Rejects just need one more to be able to move on to the next round in the upper bracket.
The Rejects are North America's last bastion in the upper bracket. Can they pull it off and take out Skillcap Black? Swapsy's going to switch over to this Ret Paladin. Waz is going to be respecking to Assassination. This is just a ton of damage that Skillcap Black have, and let's see if Rubcup can deal with it. We see Sap on Swapsy. They open up onto Chaz, and the Rejects actually are getting aggressive onto the healer, which is an interesting target here, Adrian.
Yeah, and it comes down to the crowd control coming out of Swapsy. He's actually playing the Blinding Light. Interesting talent choice from this Retribution Paladin. You can, of course, bear in mind one of the big things is going to be the Blessing of Sanctuary on Swapsy. He's able to dispel stuns and silences from Chaz every 45 seconds, I believe it is. So that's going to be one of the big things. And we saw the Blessing of Protection coming out there just to keep his team offensive a little bit on the blind at the start of this one. Now, Rubcup's Avenging Crusader is down. This is where they're trying to get offensive, but honestly, it's Chaz who's taking the brunt of the damage. Astral Shift being traded out, able to get out some heals, but they need to get aggressive over onto Jamili.
Yeah, and they are right now with a full blind on Rubcup with no trinket. Jamili, Temporal Shields, he's trying to blink away. Double Dragons about to peel him, but that might not not be enough. That cauterize is going to trigger. Jamili is still on the run. It could be an ice block as well. They get the ice block. Skill Cap Black are just gutting through the defensive cooldowns of the rejects. In the meantime, though, it looks like they're going to go after Chaz with another swap. They managed to get the trinket from him. If they swap to him again and crowd control Swapsy, they could end the game. Waz also has no trinket. They could swap to him potentially. This is still anyone's match.
Yep, that blue buff below Swapsy is the Blessing of Sanctuary. In 8 seconds, they will be able to dispel the stuns coming onto Chaz. So that's really the last out for Skill Cap Black before Chaz could be in big trouble from the rejects. We see Avenging Crusader committed right now in Rubcub. He's on fire. He's dealing a lot of damage as they do force the Divine Shield from Swapsy. So definitely the rejects have forced a lot of cooldowns early on in this one. Swapsy and Chaz both kill targets, and the rejects definitely looking good in this game.
Oh, the rejects are in a massive lead right now. A kidney shot into Chaz. He sanctuaries him out. Swapsy needs to try and stay alive. He soaks the counter spell. Chaz needs to get the heal. He lands a capacitor totem, but a triple Dragon's Breath. Jamili looking for this polymorph. Triple Blinding Light. Swapsy doing anything he can. He needs this game. He's going to be going down to the lower bracket if he can't stay alive. Find the kill onto Jamili. In the meantime, Rub comes to flex with the Blessing of Protection. Chaz desperately trying to purge that off. If they get one more poly onto Chaz, that could easily be the end of the game. Will Jamili be able to find that polymorph in time? Chaz is on the run. Swapsy is trying to keep up. He pre-Spirit Link totems. He knows he's not going to be able to use that later if he's caught in crowd control, as it looks like Skill Cap Black are forced to all in with the Blessing of Sacrifice from Rubcup. It denies the kill. They swap over to Rubcup, but Swapsy has nothing left, Adrian.
Yeah, Swapsy in so much trouble. The preemptive Spirit Link may well not be enough as Swapsy drops low. Dragon's Breath! And the rejects take the game. They will advance into the top 3, into our semi-final upper bracket hopes. Still alive for North America, and Skill Cap Black, who came out of the gates blazing, could not secure it, and they will drop down to that lower bracket.
That's the thing. The rejects just throughout that series grew, and that's a scary.
The Paladin maybe as much as you would have liked. How does it feel to be able to play your main class and do so well?
Super relieving, because I play alts all the time now. I never get to play Pally, and it's just something you're just super comfortable on. You know exactly what to do in every situation, so it's just like super comfort pick.
It is always awesome to see someone play their main and at such a high level. Now, throughout this tournament, has there been any teams that have really surprised you or you expect to do super well moving forward?
Well, Skill Cap Black was the one that we were scared of most, and that surprised us the most because they have so many comps we play against us, so we were kind of scared against that. But other than that, everyone's pretty straightforward, I think. Good.
Well, looking forward to the rest of the tournament. Thanks for joining me. Back to you, Rich.
Man, I'm looking forward to the rest of the tournament as well, because